So I thought we would do a farm tour today. It is the middle of winter, but actually that's a really good time to look around because you've got the bare bones of your farm, because you haven't got all the summer trees out, or the brambles or the weeds. So it's a really good time to do a little tour. So let's go. So the obvious place to start is the drive. So this is the place obviously where we drive into our property. So adjacent to us is the old farmhouse. So we sold that farmhouse when I was in the 90s because it was so dilapidated, we didn't have enough money to do it up. So it was sold, so they're now holiday lets. So it does mean our property is a bit of a strange shape because originally the farmhouse would have been the epicenter and then the land around. Now obviously we've sold that, we own the driveway, but we basically have a bit of a donut shape with the land kind of wrapping around the farmhouse, which no longer is ours. So the first bit we'll go into is, this will probably be the main area of the farm. So you come through the driveway, and then our Wildflower Meadow is over here, and then there'll be a gabion wall along here. Our house will be here, a gabion wall along here with fruit trees, and then you'll come in here. Look at this beautiful mud, lovely. And then over here will be the nuttery. So this whole patch adjacent to the driveway, which is now over there, will be the nuttery. So we'll have our nuttery in here, and this will be where the turkeys live. So it's quite nice at this time of year because you can see how all the nettles have died down. So what I will do in the next couple of months is, before the nettles start coming up, I'm going to bring the trees in, and I'm not going to have time to clear it all out, but what I'll do is I'll bring the trees in, I'll pop them in, and I'll mulch them down with a thick layer of straw. That will keep the moisture in and it will keep the weeds down. So although nettles and stuff might go mad around it, it will give those trees a chance to breathe. So that's a big project for this year, is to get those nuttery in, and then also to sort of start fencing areas of this off so that we can get those turkeys in the spring. So if we continue past the nuttery, which will be obviously here, we walk towards the pit and the lookout. So the nuttery will lead into kind of the lookout area, and then also there'll be this pathway around the front of the lookout. So this is where we normally camp. And the nuttery will be here where this dilapidated caravan is. It'll kind of be all this section, and then along here is going to be a dividing buddleia hedge, and then, as I've talked about before, there will be a living willow dome kind of here, and you can walk through it into the nuttery. I'm going to put a couple of benches in there as well, so you can sit and de-shell nuts and all that sort of thing. And then the lookout area is kind of more a recreational spot really, but it's going to have a fencing along here, and it'll be bordered with loads and loads of herbs. So it's actually kind of recreational but a herb garden. It's really well draining, which is good for a lot of herbs, and it gets a lot of sun, which is also very good for herbs. So they will all sit beneath a fence, and the fence is required because it is in fact quite a deep pit. So that's all waterlogged. So there's going to be a waterfowl pond over here, because this pond naturally floods in the winter, so it means we can have a man-made pond in the most of the year, and then when we get a lot of rain it will just flood out and give the birds more space. And then the pit is vast, so let me just pan up. So just so you can get a sense of scale of the pit, I'm going to walk from this section all the way around to the other section. I'm really bad at kind of looking at a space and working out how big it is, but I would say it's 2 or 3 acres, the actual pit itself. So let's head round to the other side of the pit. So here we are, the other end of the pit. So you can see it's quite sizable. There is a fox den just over there where all that sand is. And actually I've just seen a really, really beautiful fox rush off. My dog has now got the sense and she is gone, but hopefully she will come back. At least she's running that way towards fields and not that way towards the road. We are about to get all of that road fenced off before we move here because I'm worried about the dogs following prey, deer, foxes out onto the road. When I was a kid, we used to dig around in here all day long, finding little fossils, ammonites and things, which is cool. So far I don't have massive plans of the pit. I would love, as some of you know, to put a kind of a tropical garden in here and also to put some pigs in here. This is agricultural land, so we have to make sure that whatever we're doing with the land meets agricultural specifications, which means no garden. You can't have a garden. We can have a nursery. We could grow plants. So that's the way that's the only way I can get around the tropical garden agricultural thing, is to actually have the tropical garden, but it acts as a nursery that we grow plants from, we take cuttings from, we grow stock from. So that's kind of the only way, and also keeping some animals down there as well. So that's the idea with the pigs. If we spin around, this is kind of all of our field as well, and then the Wildflower Meadow is there. So let's head over to the Wildflower Meadow field. And so we enter one of the more wilder areas of the farm, the Wildflower Meadow that way and the new woodland that way. So I've spoken many times about the Wildflower Meadow before, but it's this entire patch and it runs from that tree and it will run all the way across to this line of trees, and then from this line of trees to the back will be woodland. Now if you saw my video last year, I ran out of trees. I completely underestimated how many trees I needed, but what I want to show you is a slight mistake on my part. You might remember a lovely little conifer tree that I popped in, and I didn't safeguard it because I thought, oh, you know, deer don't eat trees, don't eat pine trees as it were, or conifers. So I left it, and then I was walking down here and I thought, somebody's nicked my tree. I really did. I really thought somebody has come down here and of everything to steal, they've stolen my tree. I came closer, and I came closer, and I came closer, and I saw this. This is my tree. Look at my tree. And look what's all around it. Hoof prints. Hoof prints. Hoof prints. Hoof prints. So I think the deer might have come down here and had a little ritual and eaten my tree. So it serves me right. I now know that deer not only eat little tiny saplings, they also eat conifers. I think that tree's ruined. I mean, I'll leave it and see what happens, but I'm probably going to buy a new pine tree for that. So I'm going to go back up the way that we came in so that you can kind of get an idea of how the farm's put together. There is another entrance to this field, which is further up, and I'll point it out as we pass it. Here is the other entrance, and then if I back up, this space from where we've got these canes all the way down there, This is the Market Farm garden. So the Market Farm garden is purposely really near to where we're going to have our future house. You do not want it far away because you're just going to put a lot of pressure on yourself going back and forwards, getting utilities like electric and the water out there, packing up your veg ready for market and all of those sort of things. So it's really close to the house. Just for that ease, and it's expandable as well. So we're going to put up a little fence. We'll have to because of the deer, but it's not going to be a permanent structure. I might even see if I can just get some electric netting, deer fencing, and see how that works so that we can expand it. We will certainly need to add more beds, add more polytunnels and that sort of thing. So now we're going to head over to kind of my husband Saad's thing, and that is his pheasantry, bird of prey centre, and a site where he wants to do some vulture conservation in the future. In here is going to be an ornamental pheasantry, bird of prey area, and then also some vulture conservation that he wants to do. So we have been clearing this out, ready to build a couple of aviaries for the pheasants. You might have remembered this from last year, and it was thick scrub. And it's really cleared out now. We've started to bring a few things up from home. Saad's doing a lot of clearing. And then our house will be here. And that's kind of the front section of our farm. But then once you come through here, we have another 3 fields. So we have a field up here and a huge field out here, and then another field behind these 2 oak trees, and another field over there. The pond restoration project is up here. So I hope that gives you kind of a good idea of our plot, of the land, of the way the fields and things work, and also of all the ideas that we're going to be putting together over the coming years. It is extensive planning that we've been doing, and we've got a lot of ideas, and obviously we're not going to fit that all in within this first year. We've still got 2-3 months until we even move up here, so we're not moving up here till the start of the summer. We then really only got 6 months towards the end of the year, and then we'll really be properly starting the farm in 2021 and using this year to kind of get the main stuff sorted, so the business side of things like the market garden and the pheasantry and the poultry and things like that. I hope you stay with us over the coming years though, because we've got a lot planned and I'm very excited to get up here and start. If you've liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing so you don't miss anything in the future. If you're on Facebook, please come across and join us at Brimwood Farm's community group. But for now, I've got loads of work to do, so I'm going to say goodbye. Bye-bye.